Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, good morning everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Just making sure everybody can hear me and see the screen okay. Very good. Okay, so thank you so much for joining our webinar today. I'm mindful that people are joining us from all over the world, so it might be good morning or good evening, depending where you are. The session or the webinar today is going to last for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to particularly focus on our FormFiller or template creation tool, which we've released some new enhancements to as well. But before that, I'm going to tell you, in case you are new and you don't know much about secured signing, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about us. What we do, what is unique about our digital signature technology, and then I'm going to focus majority of our time, as I mentioned, on our FormFiller enhancements and tool. So if you are completely new to secured signing and you haven't sent a document yet, I would encourage you to check out our demo videos to learn more of the basics first. So this is sort of going into that advanced level straight away. Also, in terms of just questions, feel free to pop questions at any time in the question box. I will try and answer them as I go. Otherwise, we'll have some time for question and answer at the end. So thank you. Okay, so a little bit about secured signing. So we are obviously a digital signature cloud platform that lets you completely fill in and sign documents in a digital format. We went live to the market in 2010, and our head office is located in Auckland, New Zealand, which is where I am based from today. But in saying that, we have customers right across the world that use our platform every day to complete business transactions. In terms of what we do, so we do a lot more than just capturing a signature, as I say. So as I'll cover today, we can show you how you can create documents within secured signing. The other thing we specialize in is the workflow process for assigning requests that you send out. So what I mean by that is what happens before you send a document to be signed, what happens during the signing process, and how you control that signing process in terms of who signs first, second, and a lot more. I won't go into detail around the workflow today, but I'm happy to discuss that further independently if you have any questions. The system also sends out reminders and notifications. So the idea is that we want to automate and make you more efficient so that the system will take care of that. And we also have an advanced reporting tool, so you can really delve down for those that love data and want to see what's happening. We have a lot of cool statistics around how much time you're saving and the success rate of your signing requests. So the idea, really with secured signing is that regardless of your business size, whether you're a small or a large business, you can really move to a digital paperless process in your business that will free you up to focus on the things that really matter and that you're good at rather than the administration or the paperwork, as we call it. Now, the only thing I like to just cover before we delve into the specific demonstration is just this difference or build awareness around that there are different signing technology available in the market today, and when you're deciding which signing technology to go with, it's important to understand the implications of which. So every time I get a chance to educate people around this, I take an advantage. So I just want to quickly cover the difference between an electronic and a digital signature. So firstly, an electronic signature, which is what most commonly used today, is simply an image of a signature. It is just a way of you capturing a squiggle, and that squiggle becomes a picture of your signature. That picture is placed on top of a document. It has no connection to the content of the document itself, and it can also be copy and pasted by anyone because it's just a picture, so you can copy and paste a picture. So we say, it doesn't have any additional security functionality beyond just capturing an image of a signature. That's an electronic signature. A digital signature is much more in-depth and complex and has many additional benefits. The first one is that it's not just a signing tool, but it's a way of sealing your documents with your signature to build a trust system between yourself and your invitees that this is the version that you've both agreed, this is the contract you've both agreed, these are the terms. And what I mean by that, with a digital signature, if anyone was to amend anything within the document, your signatures will become invalid. So it's giving you a tool not just to capture a squiggle, but also to say, this is what we've agreed, this is what we trust each other, these are the terms. If one of us amends it, it will invalidate the signature, and therefore we know that the contract has been changed. So that's a little bit about that. Just here, just to show you what I mean by that, which one of the two is digital. So if you guess number 2 is the digital signature, you're correct. It's got a lot more behind it, and it's based on public key infrastructure, which I won't go into detail, but we have a lot of information and resources on our website to explain that. And the one at the top here is the electronic signature up the top. So as I say, a digital signature gives you much more than a signing tool, but it seals your document and builds a trust system and secures your content. Okay, just see if there's any questions on that. No. Okay, thank you so much. So what I'll jump into now is the core part of our presentation. So I want to, just before I jump in, to just sort of explain the difference between, not the difference, but to explain what FormFiller is and how it can be used in a couple of scenarios. So FormFiller is secured signing document builder tool. Okay, it is a do-it-yourself tool. So anyone that has access to secured signing, even if you have a free account, you have access to FormFiller. Okay, so you can build as many document templates as you like. There's no limit to how many templates you can have. And as I say, it's do-it-yourself. So I'll show you exactly what it looks like. But in terms of a big picture case use for FormFiller, it's for documents that you are using over and over again. Okay, so it's not a one-off document that you need signed. It's for those documents in your business that you use over and over again. Okay, and I'll give you a couple of examples. So that might be, for example, a registration form that you get your client, candidates, customers to complete, for instance. Okay, or it might be a letter that you generate over and over again, and just a few details change. So the way that you can use these templates with information, how you use information, is in 2 ways. You can either, for example, with an NDA, there's a few fields that would change, but majority of the contract, the wording, etc., is the same, right? And the few fields might be the company name, the person signing, and the date, right? So what you would do is you would create a template in secured signing of your NDA with these fields that are changing, building, and I'll show you how. And then the person sending it, the sender, can pre-fill those different variable fields and then send it out to be signed. Okay, so you, the sender, the person sending the signing request, will complete the information, which is variable each time, and then send it out. That is how you would use it when the sender fills in the information. The other way that a template could be used is for the invitee to fill in information. So like a registration form I mentioned is where you need to collect more information from your customer. So that is again how you'd use a form filler, and you'd add text boxes, etc. as well. And of course there's many scenarios where you need a combination of 2. The sender fills in some information, and then the invitee fills in some information, and then there's the signing process. So you can combine the 2. But in a big picture use case, this is how you would, this is when or how you would use FormFiller. Okay, so let's jump into secured signing, and I'll show you where everything is. Okay. So as I mentioned, I'm not going to give a big tour of secured signing. If you are new to secured signing, please reach out and I can do a private demonstration. But in terms of FormFiller, so where do you find it? First of all, so all of our FormFiller templates are here under the Templates tab. Okay, so if you need to do anything to do with your templates, document templates, click on the Template tab here. Okay, what I'm going to show you first is how you create a new template. Okay, so if you have a new, say, registration form that you want to complete and create, you would click on the Create a New Template, and you would upload the document from your computer. Now this would be a blank document. Okay, so if it's a registration form, you don't have any of the fields filled in, so it's a blank one, and then you click Create a Template. What you do next this is your template. Now what we need to do next is we need to build the fields on top of it, okay? Now, the way we do that is we use a form field from here. You click add a form field. We have different types of form fields that you can choose. So text box, which will be the most commonly used, I would say. A multi-line text box, which is just essentially a large text box. And then we have checkbox, radio button, a date picker. You can create your own drop-down list, and you can also do a file upload button. So what that means is that the person signing is requested to upload some information. It might be a passport, driver's license, a certificate, a receipt, doctor's letter, whatever is relevant to your business process. They can upload it as well. And then at the end, you will receive the uploaded document or documents. You can have as many documents as you need, as well as the signed completed form. Okay. And of course, because we are a signing platform, you always need to have an invitee signature as well. Excellent. Now I'm going to actually jump into one that I've sort of started to creating already. So here we go. This is the form, and I clicked on the edit information. So when you do choose a field, so when you add a text box, you will receive a box like this, which you can position wherever you need in your document. Then what I would focus your attention to is the settings on the left. So for this highlighted text box, you need to think, is it a mandatory field? Does that mean, is this a box that has to be completed? If the answer is yes, I would then ask, by who? Is it by the invitee, person signing, or is it by the sender, yourself, because you're completing it? So depending on the answer, you tick the right box. Now, if it is the sender, in this example, then you can choose whether it is a read-only field. That means that the invitee cannot amend it. Okay, if it's not read-only, it means that the invitee has the ability to update what you've written. So a good example of that might be an address, right? So you might have someone's address, you've entered that in. However, you might not have the latest address. So you want to leave that as a read-only, so it gives the invitee the chance to update their address if required. Okay, now a few other things. Then once you've decided what is the validation, you would go to the rule. So we have a couple of pre-populated rules that you can use, and this means the format of the data that you insert into the field. For example, has to be in an email address format. Okay, it can be a website, or you can say this field is numeric, characters only, so on and so forth. For particular countries, we have specific validation for that region. So for New Zealand, bank account number, IRD, TFN, so on and so forth. So have a play with the different validation rule. So that is what is the type of data, what is format it has to match. Okay. The next thing that you would add to the field is the label. So what is the label for this field? So again, we have created a list of pre-populated labels which you can choose from, or you can type your own. All right. Oh, I can't spell. Okay, so now you can see that it's typed, my own, and that is what it will appear. Now, once you have all your fields, you can, so I would first add all your fields, go through, and don't worry so much about the layout. Then I would click select all, okay, and then to do it easily, you can choose the font. So what is the font you want? I want it to be in Arial. And what is the size? So you can choose from side. As you can see, when I select, it changes all the fields together because I've clicked select all and they're all in green. Now I know that I want it to be in a size 10. And the last thing, I want this field here that I've added to match the format of all the other fields. So I can do that by just clicking this button to match the size, sorry. It's whichever field you choose first that it matches the size to. So in this case, if I want to get it out again, so this is the first field, this is sort of my master field, select all and match to this size. Now the other thing that I've chosen in this case is that I wanted all my fields, all my the font to be blue, and I want it to be in bold. Okay, so that is another additional functionality. So you can choose the color, and also whether in bold and italics aside from the size. A few other of the buttons here. So this is the match. So you select the first field and then we match all the other fields to the same format. You can also say that you want all the boxes aligned to the left, the center, or the right. And the last one I just want to show you is this one. So you can copy, if you have, for example, the same field appearing multiple times, so like the full name. So by clicking this, you just copy, and now you have another field with the same formatting. Now I'm going to remove it. Now another functionality just to explain, if for example in your form you have, say, the full name appears multiple times in the form. So once you've created a text box, it actually gives you a single option of the ones that are already created. So if you click email, for example, so I've now got another email box, and as I fill this one in, it will also update this one because they are the same field. So what the experience is for your invitee is that as they fill the first field, if it populates it multiple times within the form, they only have to do it once, okay? They don't have to do it multiple times. So let me remove this one and I'll just get rid of the data. So I'll go back to email. Now, a few other things to show you is the preview button. So this is really important. So once you've laid out all your fields, you need to preview what it looks like, okay? Now, when you click on the preview button, you will see two preview stages. So you will see what the experience is like when they're viewing it on their web browser, okay? So this is the first preview, what it looks like in their web browser. Anything that is red is mandatory for the invitee to complete, okay? Now, if I'm just going to put some dummy information in here, you need to put some dummy information to view the PDF version. Now, as you can see, only the fields that I've got text in have burned onto the PDF. So what that means is that there's two stages to your form field. What it looks like in web form, so when they're filling it in, and then the final signed document is going to be a PDF. So this is what it looks like on the final PDF. Sometimes there might be a slight variation between the web form and what it looks like when we burn it to PDF. So what we encourage is for you to test it out to make sure that you're happy with it in the preview, okay? So put some dummy data in here and then view it as PDF. As you can see, it hasn't saved my data. It is just dummy data to carry through. Okay. Here you can also see, you know, if there's a box that's not red and it needs to be mandatory, you can go back and then amend your core template. Now, once you're ready and you're done, and I've got a signature box, just making sure, you would click Save, okay? Now, when you're saving the information, there's a couple of options as well. So first, you need to give it the name. So what is the name of your template? Okay, and then what format do you want the signed document template to be in? So, for example, by default, we have the first invitee name will pre-populate to the signed document at every time. So invitee 1, and this is a preview. If you didn't want that, then you can remove it, okay? If you have multiple signatures, then you can choose which invitee name. Because in this example, I only have one signature box, there's only one invitee, okay? A few other things that you can do is you can copy this as a new template. So if you want to create another copy of this template we're working on, you'd select that. If you are capturing data within your form and you want to export the data on completion, you can tick this and then you will have a CSV file available for you to download. And the last one is the get a link, and this one I'll explain in detail because it's a really useful tool. So if you did need to get a link or you want to share your form template with other people that you don't need to send them a manual invitation, but you rather want them to be able to access it from anywhere, you would click the Save a Template. So this, create a link. So this is the link there. And if I just go back to my template grid, you can see this is a form we've just been working on, the New Employee Details webinar, and here is the link here. So you can copy that URL at any time. But what the URL does, so you can copy and paste that URL into any web browser, and it will bring you to your form. So if it was, for example, a registration form that you wanted to create, you can put this link on your website, and then any person that's interested in registering would click on that. So you're not having to invite them, they're doing the initiating themselves. They would go through, fill in the form, sign, and there is a different authentication process for signing where they have to enter their email address. We send them a code to their email address, and once they enter that code, they can sign. So that is how it's different, because they're starting from a public link rather than we've invited them to a known email address that you've provided. Okay, so that is the form filler. Now, once you've created your template, there's a few additional things that you can do. So obviously, if you click here, you can edit your template at any time if you need to make changes. You can also replace the template document. So what I mean by that is the document that I've uploaded, and what I would explain it is sort of the background, right? It's the wallpaper as such. Now, from every now and then, you're going to need to make some text changes. You might need to capture a new field that you didn't create previously. So you can replace the back document without having to start again. Okay, so this is really good, for example, for NDA contracts, when you need to make changes in the wording, you can simply replace the back document without starting again. So all the fields will stay where they are. And then this button here lets you simply copy it. So if, for example, you have a new employee details for a temporary worker, one for a contractor, and one for a full-time permanent staff, you might have the same more or less similar templates, but a slight variation of each. So again, you can simply copy this one and just make the variable changes rather than having to start again. Okay, I know there's a lot, so hopefully it's not too much, but I just want to make sure that I'm covering all the benefits. Now, in terms of sharing a template, of course, got to log in. So in terms of sharing a template, this is a really good one, especially when you're creating templates for your team. When in secured signing, for example, this is my team. So I can choose that this template, which one of my colleagues or team members I want to share it with. Now, if I share it with Amy, when Amy logs into her secured signing account and clicks on the templates tab, that template will be waiting for her. Okay, so she doesn't need to do anything. I've created the template and I'm sharing it with Amy, and so on. So you can do that, and you can change who you share with at any time. So that's how you do this here. Now, the last thing I want to show you is just the pack option. So sometimes you might create one template, but there's a couple of, or there'll be multiple templates that you need to have your customers complete. So you would select the template and you would create add to a pack. You'll create a new pack, give it a name, and then just tick the forms that you want to add to the pack. Now, I've created a pack already, this one. So that is why it's showing up here in bold. So it's got 2 documents showing that it's a pack, and you also have all the pack listed down here. So in my pack, I have my new employee detail form that I created and an NDA form. Okay, so from a user, so now that you've created the document, your templates, and you want to send them out, what is that experience like? So if we do it for just one document, you choose the document in your template list and you click the send button. If you wanted to preview it before you send, you can also click the preview and send here, and it just shows you through. But if you're happy with your document and you know it's the right format, all you need to do is you click send. And then it takes you through the standard workflow that is repeated throughout our platform. So what is the due date for the document? We will then, depending on this, send out the reminders depending on the reminder schedule. For each invitee, you need, because it's a template, we haven't yet said who it is, so you would put in the person's details. And then you would choose which settings you need depending on what you're doing. You can add any attachments. All the same workflow functionality are available with FormFiller as they are with WeSign or any other processes that you've done. Okay, and then what happens now, you can see that in the In Progress tab, there is now Greg Smith's new employee template, all the information and the status, and you can also view the document from here. And this is, the blank document because there haven't been any information filled in. So this is in terms of the process. And then if we go back here, this is the invitation, what that looks like. They would enter the code. Now, some information, as you can see, we already know. So we know that this is full name, but you've told us Greg's full name, so we've pre-populated this. And the same with an email address. They go through. Now, it doesn't have to be blue. I've just made that blue. Obviously, I chose the color, making it up. Oh, see, I did a New Zealand phone number. It's too long, so it's told me. And then date of birth. It's not my date of birth, but it'll be. And then once I've done all of this, now these two fields here are not mandatory. So I can go on to sign the document without filling them in. They are not mandatory, okay? So if you want them to be mandatory, you need to select that from the box. The New Zealand bank account number, I don't know my account number off by heart, so I'm going to pass that one. And then click to sign. Person, same thing, you should be familiar. Capture their signature, font with the mouse, upload, so on. I'm just going to keep it simple. Click sign. Check again that the information is correct, because once you sign, you cannot edit any of the fields. So if you're not sure, check again. When you're ready, click sign. And that's it. Okay? And then you can view the document here. So this is the document, and also there will obviously be a completion email sent to everybody with the information. Here we go. So this is the signed document here. So that's it. Now, in terms of, if I go back to secured signing, just trying to think what else I need to cover in the templates. Oh, I'm in the wrong login. I think that's it. Okay, just got some questions. When sending, got a question about whether it's CSV, Master Collective CSV or Excel. To be honest, I am not sure on that one. I would need to check with our tech team specifically, so I know who's asked the question. I'll come back to you directly on that one. Thank you so much. Any other questions around what I've covered so far? No? Okay. One other thing that I would just explain as well is from time to time you're going to have a scenario when you need to send out a template as well as a one-off document. So you can do that, combine a one-off document, which what we call as WeSign, with a document template. So the way to do that is you would choose WeSign. You would enable a package because we're going to be sending more than one document. You then choose, you can either upload from your computer or choose one from your inbox already. So I've selected from an inbox, and then here you can see you can add a document template. So I will choose, you can also choose like a template pack or an individual one. So I'm going to do, where is my NDA? Let's do this one and my NDA. Okay, so I've selected two, and now I'm going to click create and update my package. Okay, so what you can see there is the two forms. It's got the signatures. You click next. This is my NDA that I've created. It's got the date and the company name. Click next, and then it takes you through to your invitation workflow, which again you can give the package a name, the due date. Click next. Who needs to sign? So who are the people signing? Fill it in. In this example, there's only one. The order of the documents in your pack, so you can change the order. Do you want the NDA first, for example? So just drag and drop, and you click send. Okay, so that is how you can combine a document template or templates with one-off documents that you've uploaded from your computer. And then, of course, in the WeSign, because it's a package, it has a plus. And then you can see the two documents are here, and the status and everything as you would normally. So I'm just mindful of the time. We have 1 minute to go. In terms of, just a question around the pricing, there is no additional price to use the document templates. So it is just when you upload your document to create a template, you use one document count. And then every time you send it out, a signing request, it uses another document as well. But as I mentioned, you can share this with other people, you can create packs. So it's just as easy as a tick a box from your drop-down list and click send. That is how simple it is for you to use document templates. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. I've just got here, if you do have any additional questions, feel free to get in touch with us through our Contact Us link on our website. You can also refer to our user guide or help guide that is on our website, and you can also book a time for a private demo if you'd like to talk more specific example around your document and you want some help in creating that. So again, thank you so much for joining us today. Hopefully you found that insightful, and yeah, we'll be in touch. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.